Welcome back to the closing video of our People section in the 9th Lineal Justin and Tyler Movie Awards, the Movie Awards for 2022. And this video are our Best Actresses of 2022. And same deal as with directors and actors, we do our 3 honorable mentions, and then number 3 each, number 2 each, and number 1 each.
So I will start it off with my honorable mentions. I got Florence Pugh for body of work, but mostly one movie. No, my next one is Ana de Armas, again for body of work, but specifically for one movie. More so for one movie. And then Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, so for Florence Pugh, she was in Don't Worry, Darling, and The Wonder.
Yes.
I actually really liked her in Don't Worry, Darling, even though that movie itself left a lot to be desired, but I don't blame her for any of the problems. Like, she's great. Like, I know she's already arrived, but she's going to go on to have an amazing career.
Yeah, I agree.
But she already has a good career. I actually feel like I might have done her a little dirty in a previous year by not giving her a nod for Midsommar. Because she was really good in that, too. And in The Wonder, she was the best part, even though the role wasn't nearly as deep. Ana de Armas just kind of continues to impress me as the years go on. It's mostly for Blonde. She was great. That movie is not. But Ana de Armas, she played all that. Like, yeah, a lot of it was like screaming or maybe not screaming. I don't know if she screams a lot, but a lot of it was crying. But I don't care about Marilyn Monroe. I know she has her story and it's not all happy and glitz and glamour and all that, but I don't really care. I watched it because of the talent behind it.
Right.
She was super sympathetic, but she was also in The Gray Man. And she does action so well. She could be such a good action star. And then she was in Deep Water earlier this year where she played, like, Ben Affleck's wife that was banging dudes. I love Jennifer Lawrence as an actress. She says some weird stuff nowadays, which annoys me because she got by early on as being this relatable star that you thought was pretty cool, and now she's kind of losing that a little bit, which is unfortunate. But this is about the acting, and I assume I will always adore her as an actress. Like, she doesn't even play into hysterics with this role so much. It's actually fairly subdued, but you also feel the frustration that her character feels.
Right.
Like, she says a line or something like, I don't want the snowball, I just want to not drop the snowball, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but you felt it when she said it. I've been repping her since Winter's Bone, before she really became famous, and you can go back, you can check the stats. Actually, I don't know, I think that was 2010, so I think I am on video.
I'm pretty sure.
Representing her in the first ever awards that we did. So you can go back and fact check me. Although I don't recommend it because those videos suck.
I mean, if you want to. It's not easy.
Somebody watch it, go back, watch the movies, and then do everyone else a favor, just timestamp where I say it, so they don't have to go through the ridiculousness of our first ever movie awards. I'm a really big fan of my top 3, kind of for personal reasons, but I am a fan of my honorable mentions because I think the girls brought it this year. I had such a hard time cutting a couple out.
Nice.
I can't remember who they are now. If I did, I would tell you, but such great performances.
It's how I felt about directors.
Yeah, exactly.
So, my honorable mentions for Best Actresses of 2022 are going to start off with a really interesting one. Jenny Slate for Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
That was one that I cut out.
Okay, so voices Marcel the Shell, who, if you didn't know, has shoes on. And, I usually don't have purely voice acting performances in these. She's so good.
Yeah, she is.
She's
perfect
so
voice.
Good.
Perfect voice.
It was absolutely. It's like when you It's almost like that moment when you realize Bart Simpson is voiced by a woman.
Yeah.
But still, it's like the performance is so good. And Jenny Slate knocks it. And I mean, I think Jenny Slate wrote that movie too, or wrote a good part of it. I believe so. Saoirse Ronan for See How They Run. That's not an incredible movie, but I really like Saoirse Ronan's performance. And I mean, I like Saoirse Ronan just as a matter of principle.
With Sam Rockwell, right?
Yeah.
I was like, did I see that? And I did.
But I think she is tremendous in it as an up-and-coming rookie beat cop. Yeah. And she's so spectacular just basically every time she's on camera. And I guess my top honorable mention, the last one that just didn't quite make it in the top 3, is Margot Robbie. And that's for A Body of Work.
Sure.
Again, 2 movies that I expected more from, Babylon and Amsterdam. But she plays such focal roles in both of those movies. And she, to co-opt a line that you like to use, she's not the problem. Yeah. She's not the problem in either one of those movies. She puts in really solid work, and she was the last cut out of the top 3. So she almost hung on, didn't quite, but she's my top honorable.
Yeah, had I seen Babylon, I might have been in the same boat, putting it on there. And I was just reminded of how good, those 3, like John David Washington and Bale and Margot Robbie are so good together.
Yeah.
They're also not the problem.
Give me 3 or 4 more movies just with those core 3.
Yeah, Jenny Slate. You can go check my stats on this one too, because I gave her props for Obvious Child many years ago.
You did,
and I wanted to bring her back on the board, but I couldn't quite do it. Probably because even though what you say is true, her voice acting was phenomenal. I did kind of had a hard time getting over that to put her on there when I had other performances that weren't just voice acting. But she deserves all the love. Okay, my number 3 is one. This girl is coming on the board for the first time. Well, not technically when you consider the mid-years, but Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
I've seen her in things when she was 10. She was in an Iron Man movie. And I didn't watch the shows she was in or anything, so she came on the board with, this is technically body work and will go down as body work, but she would have won a spot as for the Fallout.
Yep.
I love her in the Fallout. I'll just say, before I list it, I'll list the other movies. She was in X.
Yep.
I actually liked her character arc the most in X, to be honest. She was in American Carnage. She was in Scream, and she had a bit part in Studio 666, but I don't actually remember it.
Oh,
it was so bit. Anyway, just kind of gloss over that.
Right.
Scream, she was great. X, she was great, but it really is about the Fallout. This chick is so expressive with her eyes.
Yes.
And I so wish that I could include TV, because I would include Wednesday Addams.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we talk about on the face, well, she is specifically in the eyes.
Yep.
I will watch Ortega from now on. It actually almost hurts me to not put her number 1. I have some reasons. But you could... My 3, 2, and 1, you could flip them, and I'd be okay. Because Ortega was literally number 1 until I sat down, and she still was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I like the thing about me is I like the story of the movie awards. I like to put a story into my picks.
Yeah. Which
is why the person who wins number 1, partly why the person who wins number 1 does. But Ortega might be the best actress of the year.
No, Jenna Ortega is an excellent pick there for sure. And as I'm watching X, I'm like, why does she look familiar? Why does she look familiar? Who is that? And I go and I was like, oh, God, that's Jenna Ortega. Yeah. I didn't realize it at first. I don't know why, but I was just like, oh, I didn't realize that's cool. That's Jenna Ortega. Yeah, she's so good as Wednesday Addams.
She's very quickly moving along to my top 5 currently working.
Yes.
She's gonna, if she keeps doing this, she's gonna join Emily Blunt. I don't remember who else. Naomi Watts. I really like Thomasin McKenzie.
Yep.
I really like Ortega. She might be in there now. I have to really sit down and think of the actresses that I really, really like.
Speaking of an actress really coming onto the map, I'm going to go my number 3 Best Actress of 2022, Daisy Edgar Jones in Where the Crawdads Sing.
Okay, just before you continue.
Okay.
Another one I cut off.
Oh, yeah?
I'm remembering as you say that. Yes, she was great. Anyway, go on. I'll have more.
But no, look, Where the Crawdads Sing has basically been, again, for those that don't know, I work for the biggest bookstore chain in Canada. And that has been our company's best-selling book throughout the entirety of the Panini era.
Really?
Like that, because it came out right around that time, and it has just continued for like we're getting close to 3 years now, and that book is still selling, and it still has a massive audience. So I haven't read the book, but I knew enough of the book to know the story and to have an idea in my head about this character. And when I sat down and I watched the movie, I'm like, that's exactly what my idea is in my head of this character. She's so like a hand in a custom-made glove to create this character and tell this story, just pitch perfect to fulfill this particular role. I just thought she was excellent. And for somebody that really doesn't have another significant credit to their name, like to come on the radar with this, I think is going to just propel her to bigger and better things. So Daisy Edgar Jones, my number 3.
I'm not really pushing back on something you said, because you are right, because this movie is very clearly like her star-making performance, I guess.
Yeah.
But she does have another credit from 2022 that she was really good in, and I forgot she was in, but she was in Fresh. Like a cannibal movie with the Winter Soldier.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I didn't really, because she wasn't on my radar at all, right? When I watched it, I was like, this is a good performance. You know, she gets kidnapped by this cannibal and she does like the horror, suspense thriller thing of like crying and screaming. And she does really good. And I thought, that's a good performance, but I never thought anything of it. Then I saw her in Where the Crawdads Sing, and I was like, wow, she was super good in this. And then I was looking her up, I was like, oh, she was in Fresh, right? And that's part of the reason why it hurt to cut her, too.
Right.
Because she had 2 good roles. So your picks are great. I like your picks. I like you righting my wrongs.
I was going to say, I'm mopping up what fell through the cracks for you.
So I will be going to my phone for my number 2 a little bit. I can't pronounce stuff, but my number 2 is for body of work. Though there's one movie that she's super strong in that would have got her on here, but it's Aaliyah Bhatt, who I didn't know whatsoever, but apparently she's like maybe India's like either highest paid actress or at least one of them.
Okay.
So she's not some obscurity, right? She is to me. India's back on the board. Is what I'm saying. Why don't you say on the board today? I guess it's my saying this.
We need a board behind this.
We need a board.
So
I might butcher this. But it's mostly for Gangubai Kathiawadi. She had to be like vulnerable and tough because she's part of the criminal underworld. She did a little dancing because a lot of these movies have some dancing and stuff. Right. She had to play a matriarch, and with all that entails. She even managed to be a little intimidating while admittedly looking good. She's a really pretty girl.
Okay.
That's a wonderful performance and would have got her in here anyway. Mm-hmm. But then she was in Darlings, which she was good. She didn't have to do as much heavy lifting as in the previous movie, but she's got this like endless charm that is so evident now in like everything I see her in. Like she's basically an abused wife, and you buy her as conflicted, you buy her as even a little devilish while also being sympathetic. It wouldn't be enough to warrant her the spot by itself, but it only helps. She was in like Triple R, but it was a bit part, but that's where like I saw her. So this is another case of like the Ortega syndrome, where it's like she came on the board. Like I didn't know who she was at all until this year, and now I'm going to be like, I wonder what she's in 2023. I may not watch everything she's in, but I might pick like the one movie that she's like seen as strongest in and watch it because like I'm a fan of her now.
Nice.
So Aaliyah Bhatt.
Aaliyah Bhatt. My number 2, Best Actress of 2022, won't take a ton of time on because we've already talked about her relatively at length earlier, is Mia Goth. So Mia Goth doing X and Pearl.
You're still mopping them up. Because she might be the last one.
She might have been like the last cut.
I love this.
Excellent. So look, I've kind of said what I was already going to say anyway. I think her performance in both of these movies, 2 different performances obviously because it's a character at 2 different points in their life, but no less unhinged in one of them than in the other, like completely detached from reality. Yeah. And then of course, we now get to see the continuation of not the character, but her as an actress as the different character in what will ultimately be the third one in this collection that I'm assuming will probably come at some point this year, hopefully. I'm looking forward to seeing what the continuation of that is, but look, as the Pearl character, I think she did just incredible work, and she just did great work across both of those movies. So Mia Goth is my number 2.
Yeah, it's hard to deny her. She's great. There's a part in Pearl, like I think it's the end scene actually, where it's like that unbroken shot of her. Like, I think that scene itself kind of goes on too long, but that's not her fault.
Right.
Like she's great. Like she does that and she nails it. I'm like, wow. Like she's really great. And the thing is, she's always been great. Yeah. I haven't seen like a ton of her movies, but she's always been great, and I still have yet to give her proper love. But that's okay because you are.
That's what I'm here for.
And so my number 1 is probably not. One year you had one that you were like my least defensible pick. This is weird considering all that's come before, but this is personal to me.
Okay.
Zoe Deutsch in Not Okay.
Ooh.
You could technically do body of work because she's like got a bit part in the outfit, but I'm not even. She that could have been anyone. Mm-hmm. So we're going a singular performance with Not Okay. I've seen I think 9 of her movies, and in 7 of the reviews, I mention her like on Criticker.
Okay.
I always mention her, and the other 2 are like bit parts that I probably didn't even realize she was in. I've loved her since Vampire Academy. I was talking about top 5 actresses and I completely forgot that Zoe Deutsch was there, but she's got to be in there because I will watch movies for her. Yeah. Not that she's putting in the heaviest of all performances. She actually plays kind of a type of like just like a really likable type of person. A lot of time in like stuff like rom-coms, she's really good and stuff, and she's And in Not Okay, she plays a totally a totally unlikable character, and yet because she's got this natural charm to her, I still liked her. You should hate her, but I couldn't. She just draws me in. There's something about her face, something about her smile, her acting. Do I think she's Emily Blunt? No. I don't think her talent gets to that level. Do I even think her talent gets to like Mia Goth levels? Probably not. But I don't care because I always love seeing Zoe Deutsch. So I'm paying off years of hard work for her on this one. Does she get in other years? I don't know. It depends what she does. But I wanted to give her the Lifetime Achievement Award, basically, because I do really think she's great and Not Okay. So yeah. She's never the problem.
No, there you go.
And she's not even in great movies.
Right.
Like, this is the thing. I don't know that I've ever loved. I think, like, her best movie was Flower, I think it was called.
Okay.
And even that movie, I might have given an 8 out of 10, but I also might have given it a 7 out of 10. I can't remember. So it's not even, like, I'm talking about her movies being so amazing. It's just, I think she's great.
And my number 1 Best Actress of 2022, it's not my least defensible pick, but it's going to be the one that's probably the most expected. It's Anya Taylor-Joy for Body of Work, because she was in like 3 movies this year that I at the very least enjoyed.
What was the ones besides The Menu and The Northman?
Amsterdam.
Oh right, she was in Amsterdam.
So it's not a big part of Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
And she's already got stuff lined up that she's going to be working on in 2023. So
Anya Taylor-Joy 2 years in a row.
There you go. Look, I just love her. I love every time I see her on screen. I think she's fantastic with everything that she's given. Especially, I think like most people would look at The Northman probably as her best overall performance, and it's probably where she's given some of the most meat to work with, but I really liked her in The Menu.
Yeah, she was good in The Menu.
In The Menu, I think her and Ralph Fiennes were incredible when they played off of each other, but just even as solo performances, I loved them both, and she was the one to me that stood out the most this year of any actress that I saw. Even if I wasn't such a huge fanboy of hers as I am, I still think she would have been the actress that stood out to me the most in 2022. So, to the surprise of no one, Anya Taylor-Joy, my number 1 Best Actress of 2022.
Should have seen this coming. I mean, you pretty much called it at the mid-years.
I did. I really did.
You spoiled the ending. at the mid-years. Yeah, she's a good choice.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the people portion of the 9th Lineal Justin and Tyler Movie Awards for 2022 comes to an end. We've given you our best actors, best actresses, and best directors of 2022. And coming up next, one of the triple main event of the movie awards every year, our top 5 worst movies of 2022. When you watch as many movies as we do, and especially when you watch as many as this guy, you run into the absolute troglodyte shite of the year, and that's what's coming up in the next video. That's going to be just around the corner. Stay tuned. It's going to get ugly.